By definition, an antenna is a metal whip designed to receive and transmit radio signals within a given area.
It's BS in the Morning on KSLQ and Westplex 107.1.
Way to talk on the air before we're ready, Shelley. I turned the microphone.
Well, you didn't say here we go.
I've turned the microphone on. Shelley's already talking. Okay. Make a note. I need to, and you talk to him all the time, so I just threw it out to you. I need to get Caleb Hunter on the air here. And
call him.
Well, should I call him now?
Why not?
I'll give him a heads up. We'll call him tomorrow, okay?
Well, no, what do you want to talk to him about?
Okay. Yesterday, I did a terrible thing. And matter of fact, one of these days, I'm going to just have a heart attack in my car. I'm going to stroke.
Please stop saying that.
I'm going to stroke out because you know why? You know what drives...
Again, stop saying that, too.
You know what drives me crazy? Listening to NPR.
Well, then what do you do it for?
Maybe I'm a masochist. I just can't stop.
What do you do it for?
I can't stop torturing myself. Okay. Yesterday.
That's why you have this radio show with me, isn't it?
Right. They have the show that comes out of AMU, American University, WAMU, big radio station in D.C. It's like KWMU, but like better. Okay. And they have this show they syndicate across the country. And yesterday they were talking about the gas stove issue. Okay? Now, I think we asked you before, do you have gas or electric stove at your house? Do you have gas appliances?
We have gas.
You have gas stove. You have gas. Is your hot water heater gas? Is your furnace gas? Do you have gas heat?
Yes,
okay.
We have gas heat.
Do you have a gas dryer? Is your dryer electric or gas?
They're both electric.
Okay. Last week before, we talked about the fact that there was this move, which then they came out, oh, no, we didn't really mean that. The Consumer Product Safety Commission came out and said that they wanted to ban gas stoves. Remember we talked about this, and they were going to be banned. Now, interesting, I heard a home improvement guy on another radio station, because you can tell I listen to radio. He says the reason that has become a problem in newer houses is because newer houses are so airtight. Because they try to make them super, impervious to outside air. So in other words, they have insulation, they have all these different, things. They put like the Tyvek on it, and they tape all the joints up, and they caulk everything to the point where the old houses used to breathe. Literally, air would get out from inside the house, and air from outside the house would get in through like cracks and, and bad windows and stuff like that. The new houses are so energy efficient, they are like super tight. And his point was that all you need is a good range hood. You know what I mean? You got a gas stove, you have range hood. I'm like, they have a gas stove with gas burners on top? Who doesn't have a range hood? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so
tell me what a range hood is. That's the one that's up on top, right?
Yeah, the thing you turn on and a blower. It sucks all the fumes out.
Oh, well, ours isn't a hood. It's behind.
Well, it's something like that. They call it they call it a range hood. So in other words,
whatever. Well, of course, if you say that, then that's what it's called. And BTW, Caleb said, sure, you can put him on the air.
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. I'll call him. Okay, because this. Here, let me find his number. So this is what's great about radio. It's immediate. We don't. I never say, well, coming up next hour. I never say that.
You say it all the time. Like all the time. It drives me nuts.
Okay.
My prostate.
Right. Oh, I can't play it. I'm busy calling Caleb. Okay. Maybe I can. Hold on. There's one ringing.
Hello?
Hey, hold on a minute. Before you talk, I have to do something because Shelley has thrown down the gauntlet, okay? She's thrown down the gauntlet. Hold on a minute.
I had prostate problems that were driving me nuts.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Caleb Hunter, one of the owners of Extreme Electrical, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This controversy that's been lately, they talk about they're going to outlaw gas stoves. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. So yesterday I'm listening to NPR, the KWMU radio station in St. Louis. I got this lady on from Chicago, I don't know where she's from. She's an expert on this, and they're talking about retrofitting houses. They're talking about, most of the big cities are going to put into, an act that you can't build a new house with gas appliances anymore. It has to be all electric, and there would be a window where you have to retrofit your house and take out the gas appliances and put in all electric appliances. Now, and she says, it doesn't cost that much to retrofit a house. Caleb, you're the electric contractor. Let's say I had an older house. Let's say it only had a 100 amp box, and I had a gas stove, a gas dryer, and a gas water heater, and I had to convert them all to electric. Could I do that with a 100 amp box, or would I have to have a whole new system put in?
Depends on the house, but most likely not.
So
yeah, you would have to upgrade that for sure.
So you're talking about completely having to redo the electrical system in a house.
Oh yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah, that'd be tons of money.
like let's pick a house. You know, I mean, you're all over St. Charles County. You're all over the entire St. Louis area. An average house. If someone calls you up and say let's say they got an older house that has a 100 amp box and they want to upgrade to a 200 amp box. What's the normal cost for that?
Oh man, it could be. It depends on the circumstances. I mean, it could be $1,500 to $5,000. I mean, it really depends on how it's set up. But so let me take this for instance. If you had a 2,000 square foot ranch house,
okay,
you have all electric heat,
right?
Electric water heater, electric stoves, and everything. A 200 amp panel will most likely not even cover that.
Really? So, and aren't most houses now, the new houses, aren't they usually built with 200 amp panels?
Yeah, because they're gas.
Right. So, you're saying even a modern 200 amp panel wouldn't handle all that?
It'd be completely 100% maxed out.
No kidding. So,
like my house, I have a 320 amp service, which is basically two 200 amp panels. Because that's how my house is, 100% electric.
Right. You don't have any gas or anything at all. But,
nope.
Okay, now, you put the panel in, but then what's it cost? And I know this varies from house to house, but if you had to give an average, if someone says to you, hey, Caleb, I've got a big electrical panel. I got a 320 amp panel, but I'm getting rid of my gas stove. How much is it going to cost for you to run an outlet, a 220 or 240 outlet into my kitchen? What would be the average charge for that?
Well, for a range, I mean, depends on length, distances, how the stove is set up. But I don't know. I would say $1,000 to $1,500.
So if someone had like a relatively large house and they had like a small panel, like a 200 amp panel, they want to go all electric, it would be up to $5,000, and that doesn't include the new electric. Or does that include the new electric feed to the range and the hotter water?
No.
So
nope.
So we're talking maybe $6,000, $7,000, $8,000.
Oh yeah. Well, then you got to take into account all the electric car chargers going in. So we're having to change services just because they're doing that, because those things pull 100 amps by themselves.
Right. And that's the other thing we're talking about. The fact that if you had, like, let's say you went all electric, you had an electric house, all electric appliance, and you had an electric car, you'd have to have like a big old monster panel, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Even if you do the panel, the power grid could not support all electric everything.
See, that's what
It can barely keep up now with what we have.
See, that's what I keep saying.
If you get rid of all the gas appliances, you're going to double, triple the power grid. There's no way.
Right. And I've talked about this before. Ameren UE ain't building new plants, are they?
Well, they're not allowed to.
Right, exactly.
Government. Ameren wants to. Well, I was in a seminar recently within the last year, and there's a couple more coal plants of theirs scheduled to be shut down, I think, within the next 5 to 10 years. And they don't have any way to make that up. Right.
And they're not going to make it up with solar panels, because what people don't understand is solar panels to equal like the Portage de Sioux power plant out there in St. Charles County, you'd have to have a massive solar field, correct?
Well, but if it's cloudy or nighttime or whatever, it's not going to work.
Right. There's no electricity coming out of it.
Then the solar panels on homes are going to switch to batteries in your home. So at night, they're going to use the batteries, and then during the day, it's going to charge them. Right. Eventually, that's what's going to happen.
So you're saying that right now, if let's say an older area, let's say everybody in Richmond Heights, okay, that's an older area. The houses there are probably at least 50 years old. If all of a sudden everybody in Richmond Heights decided they're going to switch to all electric and have all electric car, chances are Ameren couldn't serve that area, that they would be overloaded.
Correct.
Wow. See, this is why I hear these people talk, getting an electric car. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I know I'm not nearly in the league of you, but I know enough about electricity because of the fact that dealing with transmitters and things like that. And, matter of fact, my our offices have electric heat, and I've got 2 units. We don't run them all the time, but I've got two air handler units, and each one has an 80 amp breaker on it with big old monstrous, like 4-gauge wire or something like that. Wouldn't that be about right?
Sounds about right.
And that stuff, how much is, off the top of your head, how much is 4-gauge wire a foot?
I can tell you here right now. So if you got number 4, just one single strand of wire,
right,
and you need 3,
right,
it's $1.12 per foot. So you multiply that times 3, and that's what it is a foot. Now, if you go with the Romex, like in your house, like let's say a range, for instance,
right?
If you want a range, you're over $3 per foot for that wire.
And that's your cost, right?
That's my cost. That doesn't include taxes. That doesn't anything.
Right. That's just, so in other words, if you have to go
$4 a foot to buy the material. Right.
And then the installation, you put the breaker in, you put all the terminations on it, all that kind of stuff. So you're talking like if someone was going to, let's say from their box to like their range would be 50 feet, that would be, what'd you say, $4 a foot? So that would be what? How many I can't do my math in my head. It would be $200 just for the wire, right?
Yep.
And that doesn't include the plug.
That's not taxes and markup either.
Right. And that doesn't include your guys coming out to install it.
Yep.
And you pay you guys what, $300 an hour?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, this lady's on NPR saying, "Oh, it doesn't cost that much to get your house retrofitted. Maybe $1,000 or $1,500 to go all electric." I'm going like, what planet is she from? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I think these people are just talking heads, and I don't know if they're trying to sell more gas ranges. So they say we're going to outlaw them, so everybody rushes in and buys them.
You know what? Maybe you're right. It's counterintuitive. They're saying people go, "Oh my God, we want to get my gas range right away because otherwise they're going to be illegal." Well,
right? That's what happens with guns. They come out, we're going to outlaw guns, and guess what happens? They sell more guns in the next year than they've ever sold in the history of our country.
Well, there was a time.
Same concept,
right? And you and I, you're a gun guy, so am I. There was a time after the George Floyd riots where if you go to Cabela's, they actually had a sign on the door when you went in, "Sorry, no ammo," and they had no ammo. Everybody came in one night and bought everything in sight. It was crazy.
Yep.
It was crazy. Okay, Caleb. Hey, how's biz? You doing well? Everything going good?
Yep, fantastic. It's going really well. Busy.
You fly Extreme Electrical. Give a plug for your company.
What?
Give a plug for your company. Get a plug for your company, Extreme Electrical. See, little joke there.
Yeah, that was good. No pun intended, right?
No pun intended. No. Phone number, web address, all that kind of good stuff.
Yep, 636-925-2988.
And when's go ahead.
Oh, and then the web at extremeelectricalstl.com.
When's the last time you flew?
It's been a few months at this point, but I gotta go up next. I'm going up this upcoming Tuesday. So,
how many hours you got in now?
No idea.
Really?
Perfectly honest. 100. A couple hundred.
You don't keep your logbook up to date?
No, I keep a logbook. I just don't ever count. I just put my numbers in and I close it. But I just like to fly for fun.
You're still flying out of Smart, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Do they still have the F-15 upside down, or is it right side up now?
It varies. It varies.
Do they go pick it up and move it around? Is that what they do?
Yeah. So that's a radar test facility, I guess, for Boeing. So the planes are always in different testing positions. That's what I was told by people at the airport. So
I heard it was a joke. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
maybe if you know what we're talking about, they've got like what they call a gate guard. They've got it's an F-15, isn't it?
Yeah, they put different planes. They put helicopters up. They put F-15s, F-14s. They switch them out.
Yeah, it's on like a big metal pole that's sort of off the side of one of the runways. And it is like, okay, why is that plane out there in the middle of the airport upside down on a pole? It's sort of weird when you drive by it. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep. Have a good one, Caleb. Thank you so much.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
See, once again, he's got the info. I mean, this lady says, it's only costs like $1,000 to convert your house over electric range. Yeah, right. Where do you live? I mean, can you imagine, like, if you lived in like an apartment complex, like in New York City or something like that? Can you imagine
New York City?
how expensive that would be?
I do. So Caleb, I have to say this. So Caleb, because he was so nice to come on the air with us,
Yes.
he's having a Wings and Wheels fly-in and cruise-in. This is the second annual. It's in April, on April 15th, which I don't know if that's a good day or not. I think that's going to be a good day. And it's put on by his sister company, Salt River Automotive. But I have never seen so many cars cover an area for a cruise in and a fly in before in my life.
They did that at Smart Field, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah. That's, you know what? That's so an underappreciated airport. Most people don't
It
even.
is, and they've put a lot of work into it, and it's kind of lovely.
If you know what we're talking about, it's right across the river. It's in St. Charles County, but it's in far eastern St. Charles County. It's literally right across the river from Grafton. If you take the road,
Yes.
the road you go to go to the airport is Grafton Ferry Road. And if you go down that road, about 2/3 of the way down the road is you turn into the airport. But if you keep going all the way to the end of Grafton Ferry Road, it ends. And guess what's at the end of Grafton Ferry Road? The Grafton Ferry. You can get on the ferry. I guess
Hence
it's still
the
there.
name.
I guess it's still there. I think it's still operating. I've done it many times. I used to take my kids all the time. We used to take that the long way, and we go over to Raging Rivers. And we'd, go the back way through St. Charles, take 94 out to Grafton Ferry, go down Grafton Ferry, make a left there at the end of the road, go over to the, drive our car up into the ferry, go between the two islands. There's two islands out in the Mississippi right there, and you go into downtown Grafton, right next to the loading dock. It's actually sort of cool. People would go like, you can take a ferry across the Mississippi? Yep, right there you can.
There's two of them.
Yeah, there's the Golden Eagle, which is further up, and there's another. Well, there's a third one. There's a Golden Eagle, and there's a third one that takes you over the Illinois River. There's one that takes you, because the Illinois River dumps into the Mississippi north of Grafton, and there's one that takes you across from the one side of the Illinois River to the other side. Because how do I know this? Years ago, when I was in much better shape, couple friends of mine, we took a bike trip, and we left Florissant. We went across this is how old this is. We went across the old St. Charles Rock Road Bridge, which is gone. Then we went through downtown St. Charles, through Boshertown. Then we picked up Highway C, and I don't know where in the world they took us. We went across the Golden Eagle Ferry into that county that's north of, I don't even know what county that is, Calhoun County or something like that. It's over in Illinois, and it's sort of like an island, because on one side it's got the Mississippi River, the other side's got, I guess it's the Illinois River. I guess that's the Illinois River. And so we went across the Golden Eagle Ferry, and then we were on that, whatever that county is, and we went across that county. Then we went back across the other ferry, I can't remember what it is, and then you pick up Highway 100, which is the Great River Road. We came down the Great River Road through Alton, got on and went across the old Lewis and the old Clark bridges, and went back to his house up in Florissant. It was like 100 miles. Can you believe I bicycled 100 miles in a day?
I can.
If I bicycled 100 miles in a day right now, there'd have to be an ambulance behind me, and your daughter would have to be sitting on the hood of the ambulance, and she'd have to just pull alongside every once in a while and just hit me with the paddles. Okay, Brad, your heart's in defib. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I feel good. Let's keep going, right?
If it involves hitting you, I can do that. Anyway, so April 15th, they're still looking for registrars and registrars and cars and planes and trains and automobiles. No, just planes and cars. Anyway, thank you, Caleb, for coming on, honey.
Okay. I was going to talk about my experience yesterday, which I'm still debating if I want to go public with that.
Why?
I don't want to embarrass.
Because you were snarky to her?
No, do you think I was snarky to her?
A little bit.
I had a very strange. You don't know the half of that. I had two.
No, I don't.
You
only told me bits and pieces.
I had 2 weird hours. The first hour and a half involved my phone getting turned off by AT&T, which is a whole crazy weird story. I'm going like, okay. I mean, and if I told this story, there would be people who'd go like, oh, I don't believe that. I mean, it's so bizarre and so weird involving my cell phone. And then after I deal with the AT&T lady, who was actually very nice, but when I went in there, let me put it this way. I'll give you a synopsis of the story. My phone gets turned off. I go to the AT&T store because you can't talk to anybody on your phone anymore if it gets turned off. It used to be that if you got your phone turned off, you could still dial and talk to the people. Hey,
it's a star something.
Yeah, and now that doesn't work anymore. You know.
The star doesn't work?
No, it's and she admitted that. She
It used
says
to be star 66.
no, it doesn't work anymore. You dial 611, doesn't work anymore. It's you just talk to a computer. You can't talk to a real person anymore. So I go to the AT&T store right there in Mid Rivers Mall Drive. I explained to the lady, and she looks at me with a straight face, and she says, "You have been scammed." And
What?
She says, "You have been scammed."
It's
a long, stupid story. I paid my bill last week, but they still turned my phone off yesterday morning.
Why?
It takes 10 minutes to explain. It's just this bizarre, weird story. So I get
You
done.
can condense.
No, I can't.
You write stuff for 30 seconds and 15 seconds. Condense it and share.
Don't do business with big corporations. They'll screw you and they're messed up and there's no customer service support anymore. How's that? I did it in 5 seconds, right?
That's not what I wanted.
Right. Okay. So I go down the street to Freddy's, to my favorite place, which Shelly won't go to anymore. And
only if you buy.
This woman comes up to me and starts in a, shall we say, what I would consider to be sort of a strange conversation with me. I'm eating my lunch, and
You thought you were being picked up, didn't you?
No, she said, let me put it to you this way. Maybe I'll tell the story tomorrow. I might even put the video. At one point in time, 30 seconds into her little talk, she's trying to save me with Bible passages. And I mean, what
was her denomination?
I don't know. I'm sitting there eating lunch at Freddy's, and she comes up and tries to save me. And she's got these Bible patches on her phone. And 30 seconds into this, I said to her, "Do you mind if I record this?" And she says, "No, go ahead." So I grabbed my phone and I recorded it in video with her pointing to Bible passages on my phone and talking to me and telling me how I could be fixed if I find the Lord. This was in Freddy's. And it was not a joke. She was dead serious.
No, she was.
She was very nice.
Yes.
But it was just sort of strange. And maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We got to take a break. We have Kyle Dent. I believe he's up next. I hope he's I confirmed him on Monday. I didn't bother to shoot him an email last night or a text. Hopefully he'll be ready. 7:28. It is BS.Show and Taylor Swift, or as my one son calls her, T Swift. Good morning. 7:33. Shelly, off air. We're just having our conversation. Shelly just depressed me. So
I'm sorry. Why did I depress you?
What you were talking about was depressing.
That should not depress you at all.
It is, and all I can say is I hope things get better for you. Sincerely.
Oh, they will.
Okay.
They'll fix it.
On the phone with me.
I told them that I can't have any more diseases. They just have to fix the ones I have.
That's what she said.
She did say that.
Okay.
And they were like, okay.
On the phone with me, I have a guy who lots of people in St. Charles County know. He's
beloved.
Lots of people love his restaurant. Kyle Dent. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing fine. Now, let's right off the top, you run Shamrocks, which used to be on, Veterans Memorial Parkway. Now you're in Mexico.
Yeah. We used to be at 70 in Cave Springs, and we just moved right up the street about 3 miles to 70 in Mid Rivers, and we're right at the corner, a little bit further down the Mexico Road, but right there on the left side.
Right. Now, how long have you run your restaurant now? It's been, 10 years, something like that?
Yeah. We just started our 12th year, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been it doesn't seem like it's that long, but it's been a long journey, that's for sure.
As anybody who's been in the restaurant business knows, if you make it 2 years, that's something to crow about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that it gets any easier. It's a constant evolution in our industry, but it's fun. It makes it interesting every day, that's for sure.
And you made it through COVID, which is in itself an accomplishment.
Yeah. Didn't enjoy it very much for the restaurant industry, but it was definitely a life lesson to get through it and to work together with my team and also all the other restaurants in St. Charles. We're so blessed in our area to have just so many good folks that run restaurants, and I love it.
Now, to give your place a plug, if I were to say, what kind of food do you serve, what would be your answer?
We say it's an American food with an Irish attitude. Irish food tends to be kind of boring, but we have all your American fare, the pizzas, the sandwiches. We got a lot of specialty items that we've collected over the last 11 years. So it's kind of eclectic, you'd say.
And you're coming up for your bisque. You have a big St. Patty's Day, I would imagine, as well, too?
Yeah. It's our biggest week. We have 2 days. So we have the 11th and the 17th this year.
Wow, 2 days? Man,
Yeah.
you can't fit it into one day. You extend it to 2 days, right?
Yeah, we get parade day and we get the day of. So we try to bring it all in.
Now, the reason that, and I've met you several times at chamber meetings and things like that, you posted on Facebook something which I found interesting. Shelley, my co-host here, I don't know if she's still in it, but she was a member of Little Black Book. And you referred to the fact that you went to, the Little Black Book, the Toys for Tots, was that the thing you went to?
Yeah, the Burbash they do every year.
The Burbash, right. The thing was right, and they collect toys and things like that. And your comment about the women's group was?
Well, really, I mean, when I went to the Burbash, and I've been involved in some way or another with our Little Black Book for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I watched all these women so supportive with no feel, like when you look at society and how, I mean, especially how mean some women can be to other women. I watched, nearly, 300 women just supporting each other with no strings attached. And my thought was, why isn't there a men's group like this?
You want to hear something that you don't want to hear?
Sure.
I've been saying for years to Shelley, hey, we need a men's group. How come the women can have a group like this for women, but there's no group for men? So along comes Kyle Dent, right?
Yeah, there I come in. You're just a few years down the road.
Yeah. So you're forming a group called, what's it called again?
It's called Jolt, a brotherhood of men.
And what's that all about?
So really, that's a great question. I don't exactly know what it's going to turn into. It starts tonight at 4:00 at my restaurant. And really what we're trying to do is kind of bring in a lot of different things to a guy's life. The first thing is, I've had my own mental health struggles over, the last, 8-9 years. And as much as guys don't want to talk about it, I saw an opportunity for me to get out there and talk about my story and hopefully be an example to men of all ages that it's okay to, we don't have to be these tough guys that don't talk about our feelings. And, we all know, and, I'm sure at some point in all of our lives, we've been accepted or been, affected by suicide. And I kind of got tired of hearing stories like that. And I really wanted to get out and give an opportunity to these some guys that need an ear to talk to. So if it's about mental health tonight, that's where it'll lead us. If it's about business and connections, if it's about sports, if it's about getting into a room and having a good laugh with another guy that you really need, that's what we want to be about.
It can be about all of those though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope it is. And what me and my friend Kyle Watson, who started this with me, we're just going to let it naturally evolve and see where it goes. But really the big thing is we want to help a lot of men.
Now, I'm going to say something to you that I'm older than you. Okay. Mm-hmm. I come from the generation of, first of all, as a kid, the John Waynes and the Robert Mitchums. And then, further along the road, you're probably more of the generation of, the Sly Stallone and the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. You look at TV right now and the guys are always the stupid, bumbling guys and the women are the smart ones.
Right. I agree.
I mean, haven't we sort of been, as men, hey, you and me, Kyle, we're going to talk like men. Haven't we sort of been mischaracterized?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think to a point, but I think it just continues the narrative that men can't talk. And the more, I've done a few speeches, the more that I get out there and talk, the more feedback I get back from people and from men that say, I've been feeling that way for years, or man, I've really been struggling. I'm so glad that someone got out. And I've encouraged other people to go and kind of do the same thing that I did. It really does help to talk.
But it's almost to the point where it's not cool to be a man anymore. You can't scratch and spit and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I completely, it does. It seems like we're a little handcuffed by society.
Right. And we've got to fit into this mold like, and to the point where, see, I've been in the radio business maybe too long, but when I started out, it was all men on the air, all men, in the sales department, all men management, the whole bit. It's changed quite a bit. And there are lots of women in our industry. And in your industry, in the restaurant industry, there's tons of women, who are now, a lot of them who are managers who own the restaurants, but servers, cooks, people behind the scenes and stuff like that. And to the point where I think all along there's been a difference between men and women, but nowadays it's to the point where, at least I don't know how you feel about that. I feel you can't really say I'm a man anymore.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I think it goes in a lot of different directions. I think that, women in the dating scene, I can't imagine going and dating right now. And I know I'm getting ready to turn 40 on St. Patrick's Day, but, like this new generation and a lot of the people that I hire, these guys, it's just a completely different brand of man right now.
Really? Like, explain.
I think, and it kind of follows up. It's a lot of the younger women are seeing guys that want to talk, or, it's the stereotype of a man right now is I think a little bit different. But I don't think the younger generation of women aren't looking for guys that want to share their feelings or grow as a person.
What are they looking for? I'm curious.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad I don't know either. I'm very grateful to be surrounded by so many different age groups and so many different people in my restaurant. Listening to them talk is pretty wild. I just found out they don't give out cell phone numbers anymore. They give out Instagram handles.
See, the interesting thing was I read something just the other day, and this was by somebody in the military. They said that the age group of men between 18 to 35, which is the group of men who can join the armed forces, only 27% of the men between 18 and 35 can pass the physical. And I'm thinking, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was possible. I just thought everybody had to.
No, but the idea being that, in other words, they're saying that only roughly a quarter of the people, of the men in the United States between the ages of 18 and 35 could pass the physical to go into the military. In other words,
wow.
They are physically incapable of getting roughly three-fourths of the men, 18 to 35 in the United States right now, physically could not make it in the military, couldn't even join. They would get, once they go to the doctor for the physical, they say, sorry, you can't get in. Overweight, out of shape, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm going like, what happened to men?
Yeah, right.
Well, Kyle,
yeah, that's interesting.
Your event is tonight at your restaurant. Cover charge, anything like that?
No, absolutely not. It's free to come, and the people that have reached out to me, it's for a lot of different things, and some people, especially like. I think some people just get stuck in the mud a little bit. And some of these guys that have gone through, some heartache or a big loss in life from their wife, they kind of get to the point where they're stuck and they don't want to leave the house. And you wind up with a lot less friends. And really, there's no strings attached with tonight. There's nothing. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm really going to do the same thing that they're all going to do. I'm going to stand around and talk and hope to get a benefit out of it.
And can we go out in the parking lot and scratch and spit a little bit too?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we can.
4 to 8 at Shamrocks. Give the address.
It is 1013. I'm sorry. Jeez, I don't even know my own address. It is 4177 Mexico Road. And
website, of course, we got to get that.
Yeah, shamrocks-pubandgrill.com. On all the socials, from Facebook to TikTok.
Got it. Kyle, sounds like a good deal. I will see you tonight.
Brad, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What do you think, Shelley?
I think he's a good man, and he's beloved throughout the community.
Well, see, Shelley and I have had this debate where I'm like, okay, how come, and I know you're going to get mad at me when I say this, how come Little Black Book can have an organization with all women and men can't join? And you always say, well, they can be a wingman. I go, okay, that's like saying, what was it, the Kiwanis or whatever?
I don't know.
The Lions Club. It's the Kiwanis. They were like different their auxiliary. Like that's, see, nowadays, if you said, and this is going to be interesting.
Well, they have the Shriners.
Yes, but.
And then the women are the ladies of the auxiliary.
But you can't be a Shriner. A woman can't be a Shriner. That's not right.
No, you're right. They can't.
That's not right. That's discrimination.
It's been like that forever, and it doesn't matter.
Guess what?
What?
A lot of things have been like that forever, and the times they be a changing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't.
But let's not detour from tonight. I think it's going to be something that I'm glad you're going. Put it that way.
I'm going to go scratch and spit in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I may even buy a cigar on the way out there, and smoke a stogie in the parking lot, and maybe I'll take my wrenches and my oil pan, my oil drain pan, and I'll change my oil in the parking lot, and I'll be a real man, right?
Yeah, as long as you're scratch and spit.
Okay, it's 7. See, I'll get myself.
What?
I'm not gonna say anymore. I'll get myself in trouble. It's 7:47.
Well, there you go.
It is BS, and I forgot to screw up. I screwed up again. God, I can't believe I did that. It's all your fault, Shelley.
It usually is, Brad.
I got people making fun of me because I'm playing all sorts of different music.
You do?
Oh, you made fun of me. I get people saying, "Will you play one song and just stick with it?" Okay.
That's what I said.
That's no fun.
Say it to you too?
Yes, you're not. You're
Funny.
There's a reason for that. Is that quite honestly, I can control the music this morning, and there's some songs on this radio station I do not like. I think they're wimpy, stupid, slow songs, which I don't like. Just like Shelley is always wanting me to play "My Immortal" by
Which is my favorite song, and he refuses to play it
because it's like drag slow song. Okay,
I don't care. I work for a radio station.
Yeah,
I think I would have, I don't know, an in.
You do have an in. You're on the air, aren't you?
Certainly don't play it.
You're on the air, aren't you? You've got it in. You're in and on. Okay.
I think that you need to get someone else, but that's we'll talk about that later.
Well, you told me that I'm not a popular guy. That if I started a group like Kyle Dent started, nobody'd show up because nobody likes me.
I didn't say that. That is not how I said that.
You said something to that effect.
No, I didn't.
Kyle,
that's the thing about you, Brad.
The people like
you have.
The people like Kyle Dent, but they don't like me.
That's because he's been out in the community.
And where have I been? In like my cave?
Yes. Right. You've let me be the face of the stations.
Because
and I've told you to come.
You're a pretty face.
And you do come to, huh?
You're a pretty face, and I'm an ugly face. That's all there is to it. So, what do people want to see? They want to see pretty face. They don't want to see ugly, hairy face like mine. That's all there is to it.
Brad, it's radio. They don't see my face at all.
But when I go out in the community, my ugly, hairy face is out there, right?
Well, shave it, and then you won't have that problem.
We got to make a quick phone call here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I've been using my phone a lot this morning. I got a pen and a phone, and I use it. I should have called her earlier, but I didn't see the notice until just a second ago. Oh, she's not going to answer. Darn it. Oh, yeah, she's not going to answer. She's already at work.
Who are you calling?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 31424935579 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Ready for this, Shelley?
Yep.
Poopin' underwear. Happy birthday, Christy. Bye.
Happy birthday.
It's my niece's birthday. I won't say how many years ago it was. She was born and traumatic birth. They broke her leg coming out.
Really?
Yeah. She was a breech birth, and they broke her leg pulling her out.
And she's been amazing ever since.
And she turned into a gymnast. For a long time, she was a very, very competitive gymnast, and she was very good at it. Very good at it. She was amazingly good at it. That's my niece, Christy, who got lots of good memories with her. Now she's a school teacher. I feel sorry for her.
But now she's known as PAU.
No, PIU. Poop in underwear.
Oh, in.
Yeah.
I thought you said
no,
and.
No, poop in underwear. See,
and
the reason for that, as a little girl, it was so funny. She'd be like, you'd be talking to her, and she'd stop talking. She'd look around. She'd look left and right, and she'd got this little devilish grin on her face, and she'd just say, poop in underwear. And we'd all go, what in the world is that? And she'd laugh, poop and underwear. So she's in my phone book as Christy, poop and underwear. So all I have to do is just type in poop, and there she is.
Well, happy birthday, sweetie.
Yes.
Your Uncle Brad loves you.
She's come a long way. I do. I love all three of my nieces.
I know you do.
Yes. Nicole, who's also a teacher, and Carissa, who is a respiratory therapist. They've done well for themselves. And they've married good guys. They have nice houses. They have nice cars. They have nice lives. You know, things worked out well for them. And unfortunately, they lost their father a long time ago, which was a sad situation. But anyway, things are good now, and we move on down the road. So happy birthday, Christy, 756. The smartest woman in the world, who I shared the video with that I did yesterday, with the interesting situation that happened to me yesterday at Freddy's, of all places.
Uh-huh.
The smartest woman in the world just texted me a couple minutes ago and said, don't play the video. Or don't put the video online. Don't put it up on Facebook. What do you think?
Well, she is the smartest woman in the world.
Right. I mean, but, you know.
And as of late, she's got much better control, you know,
we're talking
emotional control than I do.
We're talking about a strange situation that happened to me yesterday. I sent Shelly the video. She's got the video. Sent it to a couple other people. And everybody's reaction was, what the heck was that? I'm eating lunch at Freddy's yesterday on Mid Rivers Mall Drive in Cottleville. And I'm eating lunch, and a lady comes up to me out of the clear blue. I'm literally munching on my burger and my fries, and she comes up to me, and she starts telling me, she's showing me Bible passages on her phone. And one of them was, matter of fact, I've got it right here, because I had no idea what she was talking about, and I did a little research. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. And the Bible passage is, where is it? I had it here a minute ago. Here it is. The Bible passage is Luke 13:11, and it's here it is. Jesus helps a crippled woman on the Sabbath. On a Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman was there who had been crippled by a spirit for 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from infirmity." Then he put his hands on her and immediately straightened, and she straightened up and praised God. So a lady comes up to me yesterday at Freddy's and tells me she saw me walk across the restaurant, and she felt sorry for me, and she wanted me to see this Bible passage because Jesus could help me. And about 30 seconds into this, I'm going like, okay, am I being punked? Is there like a hidden camera somewhere? And I said to her, I said, you mind if I record this? And I picked up my phone and I videoed it. And she's showing me these passages on her phone. And I said, why are you showing me this? And she said, I saw the way you walk. And I said, you know why I walk this way? And she says, no. I said, I keep getting my butt kicked. And she didn't think that was funny. And she kept writing the Bible passages. And I said to her, so in other words, if I go to church, will my back be better? And she said something, I don't know. She said, so I don't know. You'll have to work on it or something like that. And I said, thank you very much. She said, thank you. And she walked away. It was weird. It just was weird. I'm sorry.
That's about how it went, too. We got to go. 7:59.
So you say don't post it?
Yeah, don't post it.
Okay. Man, it was just strange.
You already posted it, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I haven't. And I don't know. I mean, she seemed like a genuinely nice, concerned woman who believed in God and was trying to proselytize, as they say.
Yeah, that's what they do say.
Trying to get me to, follow her to her church, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it was just sort of weird.
But you always have Grace River. It's 7:59. Everybody have a great day. Happy hump day. Yeah. Have a great day. Peace and I fly. 8:00.
Have you heard about Salt River Automotive? Not only are we open for business and ready to serve you, we are sponsors of the BS in the Morning Show on Westplex 107.1. Check us out on Facebook at Salt River Automotive LLC. See you soon.